your main chapters have actually started from the last class that we had. So far, the main actors that we will discuss, displacement has been discussed, velocity has been discussed, okay? And if velocity changes, there will always be one final velocity and one initial velocity, two parameters of velocity. So we said that we denote them as V and U, okay? Today we'll talk about a term called, or talk about the parameter called acceleration. Acceleration is defined as rate of change of velocity, rate of don't talk, change. These are tough topics. Mugging up will not help you. Rate of change of velocity. Children, whenever we say the word rate, okay, whenever you say rate means there is always a time component which is involved. Rate of interest. What is the interest per annum? What is the rate at which you will be working? So many dollars or money per hour I'll be working that. Rate means time is involved. This is rate of change of velocity. That means this mathematically will be given as change in velocity divided by the time interval or time taken. Okay? Change in velocity. Change means a difference, right? Change means a difference, and this change will be given as the final velocity, difference of final velocity over initial velocity, okay, and divided by the time taken. Now see the beauty. If we see acceleration, वैसे क्यों लिख रही है मिश्का? यहाँ बैठना आराम से, हमें हाथ में उतना कोने में क्यों बैठना? वो सीट खाली है ना, उधर बैठ आराम से. पता नहीं, what I find it so skewed. You all can sit. There's no people love to have a straight view to the board. Yeah, sit aram se. Rishika, बैठ इधर आराम से. You all sit together only, but sit comfortably. Na, there's so much of space. So acceleration is a vector quantity. Acceleration is a vector quantity. In our grade 9, we will be denoting acceleration as A, but when you go to grade 11, you will denote it as A as a vector, right? The difference between how you study in grade 9 and grade 11 is, grade 9, we are studying only all vectors from their scalar perspective. That's only their magnitude and values. We are not so much bothered about the direction. But when you go to grade 11, you will be studying it as a vector where the direction will also be important. Okay. Now, change in velocity is given by final velocity minus initial velocity, where final velocity is denoted by V and initial velocity is denoted by U. The time taken, obviously T, right? So if you see, acceleration can be also defined as change in velocity over the time taken, delta V by delta T, as we used to say. Okay, how much time? Now let us understand what acceleration actually means. Okay, now for that, let's first look at what is the unit of acceleration, and then we'll try to understand. This way you'll just mug up, you'll not get the feel of it. The unit of acceleration, it is rate of change of velocity. Means what is the unit of velocity? Velocity's unit is meter per second divided by time, means another second. If you understood this, meter per second is velocity, divided by time means another second. So if you try to do baby mathematics, then this is meter per second divided by second, which is meter per second into 1 by second, which is meter per second square. So this is also written as ms minus 2. लिखते जाइए, समझ में आया आपको? Okay. Now let us understand, what does acceleration mean? What does acceleration mean? Okay. Acceleration as a quantity, since it is, can also be uniform acceleration or non-uniform acceleration. Here is where majority of the children will have garbar. Uniform and non-uniform. First understand, acceleration is a rate of change. Say for example, I employ you in my company with a salary of say 1,000 rupees, and I tell you that your salary growth will be 5% per year, right? That means every year you will get how much? First year you will get a 50 rupees hike, 1,000. And I say that this growth, your growth will always be constant and it will be what you call 5% per year. That means you cannot expect a increment in salary more than 5%. Are you understanding? So your increment rate is uniform. That does not mean your salary is uniform. Your salary's growth rate is uniform. Means every year completes, you get 5% of the previous salary as a growth. So first year, what was your salary? First year salary was say 100 rupees. So you get 5 rupees. Your next year salary becomes how much? 105 rupees. Next year again, you will get another 5. So it will be, if you do 10%, it is 10 rupees 50 paisa. So you will get 5 rupees and another 25 rupees, 25 paise. So that way your growth will happen. Acceleration can be uniform or non-uniform. Uniform acceleration means the rate of change of velocity remains constant. The rate of change of velocity remains constant. Means uniform acceleration, if you plot all these graphs, we will be visiting a lot. Uniform acceleration. If you plot a graph between t versus velocity, if your acceleration is uniform, you'll get a straight line. In grade 9, everything that you would be studying will all be uniform acceleration. Means whatever problems we will get, in all those problems, A will have a value and this value will remain fixed throughout the tenure of solving the problem. This A will not change. Is this getting into your head? A will remain fixed throughout the problem. Have you understood? Can I change the screen now? So let us see what all things we have discussed so far. We have discussed something called displacement, agreed? And you have discussed something called acceleration. If you hear about acceleration, that is, if you hear about acceleration, there has to be a change in velocity. If A is there, V and U must be there. Because when there are V and U, only then A can be born. If there is no V and U, that means the velocity is not changing at all. Numerator will become 0. Delta V is 0 and T is whatever it is. Therefore, there is no acceleration. But in our case, there will be acceleration. And this acceleration in grade 9 will always be constant for you. Agreed? If A is there, then there has to be a V, there has to be a U and there has to be a V, because the difference is known as over time. And there also has to be something called time. Please remember these 5 very nicely, and we call it as SUVAT. Though the term will not be used in CBSE, if you study, say, in AP Physics or abroad, they will use this word a lot, SUVAT. Children complicate this in grade 11 because you will have some 3 equations of motion and they left right use it, those equations. Those equations cannot be used everywhere. She has learned maybe in a school those 3 equations of motion. Those 3 equations of motion we are going to study now. Those are applicable only when SUVAT criteria is satisfied. What does SUVAT say? Displacement. Displacement means the motion should be in straight line. The second, acceleration should be uniform. Have you understood? If these 2 criteria are there, then only a SUVAT equations are applicable. A snake going in a serpentine motion, even with constant acceleration, you cannot apply this equation. This is the first mistake you will do in grade 11. Because you think, mujhe to pata hai, there are some equations of motions and we will use it. No. Equations of motions are applicable only under SUVAT criteria, where the displacement means a straight line. So once again, we'll change the chapter now, once for final. What was the name of the chapter? Motion. Then we change into motion in a straight line. We'll change it further now. Now we will see that this chapter is all about uniformly accelerated motion in a straight line. Do you get the beauty or the difference of why the change has happened today to this chapter's name? Unless this criteria is satisfied, all these equations are of no use. Whenever you get a problem, first ask, is the acceleration uniform in this problem? Which it will be. Is the problem speaking about motion in a straight line? Yes. Please apply these equations. If no, these equations are not valid at all. Understood? Let's revisit acceleration once again. What does acceleration tell me? Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity. Understood? Fine. Let's say this is 0 second, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, and 5 second. A person starts with a velocity, is a straight line, okay? Starts with a velocity of 2 meters per second. This is his starting velocity. And I say my acceleration value is 1 meter per second per second. That is what is known as, please, 1 meter per second square. These are tough topics, okay? Please try to understand properly. Acceleration's value is how much? 1 meter per second square. Now, how to understand that? 1 meter per second every second. What is this? This is velocity. Means the velocity every second will change by 1 meter per second. What is your velocity at 0 second? 2 meters. At the end of 1 meter, will you, if you still continue at 2 meter per second, you are going at uniform velocity. But you have acceleration. So your velocity should change. How much should it change? Now, if I say it in Hindi, every second, har ek second mein 1 meter per second increment. How much did you start your salary with? 2 meters per second. After one second has gone, your velocity should increase by 1 meter. So your velocity becomes how much? 3 meters per second. Right? 3 meters per second. Then after the second, another 1 second has passed. What is your velocity now? 4 meters per second. What is your velocity now? 5 meters per second. What is the velocity now? What is the velocity now? So, in 5 seconds, you have reached a velocity of 7 meters per second. If you see ads of motorcycles, when motorcycle ads will be given, very colorful this thing, they'll mention something called 0 to 28 kilometer per hour, 0 to 60 in 13 seconds. So they're actually telling you how quick is the acceleration of the motorcycle. They'll always write that. Under test conditions, 0 to 60 kilometer per hour, or this will be in coming in some 28 to 30 seconds. That shows how powerful the engine is. Okay. Now let's apply. Let's look at this particular slab. Just look at this particular slab. Only you should analyze only here. What is the final velocity? Just analyze here. What is the final velocity? 3 meters. So my V is equal to 3 meters per second. What is the initial velocity? 2 meters per second. How much time has elapsed, children? 1 second. Okay, 1 second. So if you look at the acceleration, it is V minus U divided by T, where it is 3 minus 2 meter per second divided by T is again 1 second. So we are getting 1 meter per second square. Agreed? Let's see it here. Again, same thing. 6 minus 5 will give you 1 and 4 minus 3 will give you 1. Now see the difference. Acceleration is constant. Velocity is not constant. Rather, you should say, sir, you are talking foolish. If you have acceleration, how do you expect velocity to be constant? Acceleration means in car, I have pressed the pedal. But the pedal is pressed at a constant rate. Now somebody will say, sir, in real world, what do you mean by constant acceleration? That I press the accelerator pedal and then I don't press it? No. If you press the accelerator pedal, then your speed will increase. And if you don't press it further, you will reach a maximum speed. And after that, you need to realize it by sound. See how it will be. Suppose you are going like this and you start pressing the accelerator and you keep it constant. Every time you press, the speed increases. Constant acceleration means your pressing is absolutely uniform. You can't be steady. So let's go by the noise once again. What is constant acceleration? Acceleration as a sound, it should come in this manner. If the sound is boom, boom, like bikes do, boom, 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 that's not constant acceleration. There is acceleration, but that's not constant. And if there is zero acceleration, then how should the sound be? We are going at one speed. There's no change in speed. This feel you should get when you're doing problems, otherwise aap galat kar loge. When you have acceleration, that means velocity has to go on increasing. But the velocity will increase at a very, very nice rate. Like that. Now, the velocity can reduce also. Right? The velocity can reduce also, and you should reduce it also in a very nice manner. Like this. Uniformly reduction. Now, when you uniformly reduce velocity, then acceleration, now here is another complicated term. Acceleration being a vector is represented by A. So A can have a positive value, A can have a negative value. Children, negative does not mean that something is less. Negative acceleration means that the rate is of slowing down. Okay. Positive acceleration means what? Positive acceleration means the bike is taking up speed. Negative acceleration means the speed is slowing down. Negative acceleration means, see, if A is negative, put your common sense, V minus U by T, right? This thing should be negative. For this to be negative, there are two choices. One choice is that U is greater than V. Then it will be negative. Another choice is, sir, make T negative. T cannot be negative. T is negative only for demons, Gandharv, Yaks, Rakshas, वही लोग पीछे जा सकते हैं. You can't go back. T can never be negative. So for A to be negative, this ratio has to be negative. Means what? Initial velocity is more, final velocity is less. You're reducing. Right? Acceleration negative means, suppose you are, say, somebody, the question may come like this: a car starts braking uniformly. That means it is having a negative acceleration, and that negative acceleration braking and comes to a stop. So what is my final velocity? 0. What is my initial velocity? The moment from where I started pressing the brake. But I have not just jammed the brake, slowly I am gradually applying the brakes. Okay. Now, negative acceleration. Now, there are two things. In English, there is another word called deceleration. Deceleration. Mind you, deceleration. Okay. This is very clumsy. So pay attention once again. Acceleration is equal to, acceleration is negative 2 meter per second square. The data is given like this. What does this mean? It's a case of deceleration. Acceleration is negative 2, means vehicle will be slowing down. Somebody may ask you, based on this data, what is the value of deceleration? Deceleration itself is a negative word. Then I will say that the deceleration value is 2 meter per second square. Don't get confused. Are you understanding? But the good part is, when you do a mathematical problem, suppose a problem is given to you and they tell you, find the value of deceleration. There is no maths formula that calculates deceleration. Look at your SUVAT. You had S, U, V, A, T. Did you have any D? No. So no maths formula calculates deceleration. You have to ultimately calculate acceleration. And if the value of acceleration is positive, you will report deceleration as negative. Negative deceleration means vehicle is picking up speed. ये clear हुआ कि नहीं? For all of you, is it clear? If anyone has not understood, please let me know. Deceleration is an English word. It does not have a mathematical interpretation in physics. But a lot of questions will be deliberately asking with the value of deceleration. Deceleration does not come as negative. Say, suppose the question says a truck decelerates uniformly at 2 meter per second square. Question is like that. So in given data, what will you take? A equal to minus 2 meter per second square. Suppose you have calculated a problem and you have found the value of A as -1 meter per second square. But the question says, find deceleration. You will report deceleration as 1 meter. Deceleration is something like sin. It's like loss. But the mathematics is always done in terms of profit. So if profit comes negative, loss will be reported as positive. And if profit comes negative, loss is reported as positive. But this does not appear mathematically. This is only a language interpretation, but they will ask you question with this parameter only, just to confuse you. Understood? So we understood what is uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration happens to a body which is traveling in a straight line, and its velocity changes at a uniform rate over equal intervals. Okay, so if you intervals of time, what was uniform velocity? It covers equal displacements over equal intervals of time. What is uniform acceleration? The velocity accelerates uniformly over equal intervals of time. Right? So let's say one common sense question. Okay, let's say you have, suppose an Airbus A380. Okay, you have a Yamaha 360 bike. Okay, and you can take a BMW car. Okay, which is, if three of them race from the same time, whose acceleration is high? If three of them, ready, steady, go. We have an Airbus, we have a BMW car, and we have a Yamaha 360 bike. Whose acceleration is more? All are in a straight line. We are in straight line. We cannot have any other. On the runway, these three are there. Whose acceleration is more? He will win the race. But the Yamaha's acceleration is limited. After reaching certain distance, the Yamaha won't be able to pick up more speed. Then this fellow will cross over the Yamaha. Then this fellow will also go and stop at some place. Then their daddy will take up the speed. And once he takes up the speed, you know what is the lift-off speed of an aircraft? What do you all do when you all fly in an aircraft? You can always have your mobile with the speedometer on. Play with these things in science. For that, there is nothing wrong you're doing. Once your mobile has connected to the GPS, if you signal the mobile, if you take its signal off also, it will work. All these Indigo aircrafts, they will take off something at 298. 297, it will be like this. Takeoff speed. 297, 298, Airbus A320 will lift off. And then they take the maximum speed of how much? Around 700. 700 to 750 will be the cruising speed at a height of 30,000. And then they again will land. So when they land also, their touching speed is around 300. 300 to 0 it does within that period of space. Imagine the amount of friction that develops on tires. And all you said is, काफी smooth landing tha. Now imagine the amount of shock that happens on that car. And whereas a fighter aircraft will be taking up, that speed will be like supersonic aircraft. They travel more than the speed of sound, Mach 1, Mach 2. They will be traveling much more higher speed than this. Okay? And the BrahMos missile travels even more higher speed than this. Before even wink your eye, it has gone. So acceleration's concept is clear. So let's have a quick revisit of whatever we had studied so far. Okay? Number one. Tell me you're clear or not. Otherwise, anything you're not clear, we will not be able to go ahead. The concept of displacement, the concept of velocity, and the concept of acceleration. Children, all three are vector quantities. Displacement over time will give you velocity. Velocity over time will give you acceleration. Obviously, the change. In physics, we never measure a quantity. All we measure is difference. What is your age? 14 years. No, in physics, your age difference is 14 years because it was assumed that when you were born, your age was taken as 0. So today when we are asking your age, we are actually measuring your age difference. What is the pressure right now at the tire? Sir, 36. 36 because when the tire is completely deflated, the pressure is taken as 0. So you're measuring always the difference. So velocity is the difference, is the ratio of difference of displacement over time. Acceleration is the ratio of difference of the velocity over time. Is this much clear? Apart from this, you will have some more questions on the initial part. You should be very thorough with the concept of average speed. You'll get a lot of problems from here also. Total distance traveled by total time taken. If you, please. Yes, acceleration can be negative. Also, so let us just understand once again. Very nice. And after that, if you feel that your query is still not answered, you can ask me. Okay. This is a car. A car has a choice to go in uniform. Our chapter is all about straight line. So the car will be traveling in a straight line, no doubt about it. So criteria of displacement is met. The car is currently going with a speed. Let's say the speed is u. After some time and every moment you are testing its speed is u. That means it is going at uniform speed. In that case, its acceleration is 0. It is going at u. But somehow and this was at a time t, and then you found at a time t1 and a time t2, you found a velocity v, but you found the criteria was v became less than u. At a later time, the speed velocity was found less. See, sometimes we may interchange between speed and velocity. As long as you're in a straight line, speed in a straight line is also velocity. So you found that the velocity has reduced. The car has slowed down. The car is encountering negative acceleration. The car, because if I try to work its A is what beta? V minus u by t, and you know that V is less. So this ratio will come negative. Second, let me complete it. Okay. Suppose in the next scenario you found V is greater than u. The car is accelerating. The speed of the car is reported to be more out here. A is, in this case, A will be positive. In this case, A will be negative. But somebody tells you, based on this data, tell me what is the value of deceleration. You will first say the car is accelerating. There is no question of deceleration. But still, if you want to listen about deceleration, the deceleration is negative whatever value. Business is making profit, but you are saying, tell me the loss. So there is no loss. Business is making profit. So please tell me the loss. Okay, loss is negative 2 crore. Means it's a profit. Somebody here tells you, what is the deceleration? You say, yes, this is a case of deceleration because the car is, velocity is coming down. And if you are interested in the deceleration value, the value is, A was say minus 5, deceleration is 5. You reported profit as negative 2 crore. I want to know what is the loss. 2 crore is the loss. Clear? But to calculate from problem, there is no D. You have to calculate A and only then you have to apply D. Now your question.
For example, the value is negative. So we'll need a reference point for the direction.
Acceleration is not seen from that direction of acceleration. You don't study in grade 9 because it is a vector diagram. See, if you want to see acceleration from the direction perspective, that's why I said we don't study these vectors from their direction perspective. Only velocity we will study. Acceleration is a change in velocity's direction. For that you need vector mapping. You don't know about it. However, one very nice thing I can say, look here. An aircraft is maneuvering straight, say at a speed of, say, I'm saying u, say 290 kilometer per hour, and then suddenly takes a northward turn and it maintains 290 kilometer per hour, right? Is there acceleration here in this case? Yes. Acceleration is change in velocity. Velocity is a vector. Velocity's direction has changed. Acceleration is there. That's why we say uniform circular motion is accelerated motion, because at every moment the velocity's direction is changing. The fan is now rotating at a constant RPM. Speed is constant. but velocity is not constant. Put a small paper on the fan, every time it will fly out radially in different directions. That means the direction of velocity is changing. And if velocity changes, acceleration changes. Those parameters you will get in grade 11. Here about the change in velocity, A is born. And the next chapter is where we study everything, why the motion happens. So it's like this. One part you'll learn extra now, which we'll learn in next chapter. If you hear that velocity has changed, either by magnitude or by direction, A is born. And if A is born, force is born. वरना ये चेंज क्यों हुआ? Why did its velocity suddenly reduce? You braked, there was a braking force. You accelerated, there was an engine force. Unless and until you give force, acceleration won't be born. And if acceleration is not born, velocity will not change. Now put the whole story in reverse order. If you want to disrupt uniform motion, you have to bring a force into the whole stage. The force coming means acceleration has come. Acceleration, that's why we say child is studying every day at the same pace, whether good study or bad study. But parents feel that no, coverage is not good. So some sort of arcana you will get. That's an external force. So you will see some change in your study pattern. Either you will get study more slowly or you study, but there is no disruption. Whenever a force comes into picture, acceleration will be born. Once acceleration is born, this has been split into two brothers, V and U. That means uniform velocity's throat has been choked. Okay? So we start now with equations of motion. Little bit better language. Equations of motion, everyone will say, but will not say the equations of uniformly accelerated motion in a straight line. Now there is no loophole left in a straight line. Now you have not left any loophole. Equations of uniformly accelerated motion in a straight line. And these equations are known as your Suvat equations. All the equations will be having, there will be three equations. In each of the equations, one of the parameter will be absent. That's the best part. In each of the equations, one parameter will be absent. And you will be asked to find out some missing parameter. So you will first see which parameter is absent, so which equation should be picked up. Based on that, you will be doing your problem. Okay, na? So the first equation of motion. The first equation of motion is given by V is equals to U plus AT. You will be also asked to prove all these three equations, derive rather, deductions of these. So we'll deduce the first one, okay? The first one is very easy. We say acceleration is equal to change in velocity over time, which means final velocity minus initial velocity over time. है ना? Change is always final minus initial. Acceleration is denoted by A, final velocity is denoted by V, initial by U, and time by T. So if you want to break this down, it now becomes, don't ever write equal to sign out here. When you're using an equation, this always implies that or, right? Or A is equal to V minus U over T. Fine? Cross multiply. AT becomes equals to V minus U. Just rearrange, keep the V on this side. So this becomes what? AT plus U equals to V. And now just transpose your hands. So V is equal to U plus AT.
So, S is basically distance or displacement.
Displacement. Displacement. Now from onwards, displacement. Because we are in a straight line, all our distances are also displacement. एक straight line में distance measure हो सकता है ऋषिका, हो सकता है ना, वो तो displacement ही है ना फिर. नहीं, not because I am saying, you check what is displacement, shortest straight line distance from this edge corner of the table to that corner. What is the shortest distance? This edge distance कितना है? कितना ही है? Distance in a straight line, I am asking you, from this edge to that edge, what is the distance in a straight line? The length of the table. That's the displacement. Right? Start asking yourself. This equation is again same as when we study slope in mathematics, or we study here, we will be understanding this. Look, if there was no acceleration, when you study physics, you should study like this. If there was no acceleration, would there have been a change in velocity? No acceleration मतलब a को zero कर दो, तो ये portion गायब हो गया ना. V is equal to u, means body is going is equal to initial velocity. But here we are saying initial velocity you will have, but with that there is a constant increment at the rate of a. For every t second passed, a amount of increment will come. So your velocity becomes u plus at. Have you understood? These equations are known as y equal to mx plus c. We will see later on. This equation format is very interesting in physics. You encounter such equations in different things also. Let's go to Ratnadeep. Mangoes are sold at 50 rupees a kg. Look at the board. Enjoy mathematics. Mangoes are sold at 50 rupees a kg. I bought 5 kg mangoes. How much price should I pay? How much price should I pay? 50 rupees, which is the constant factor, multiplied by how much I bought, 5 kgs, plus constant of 10 rupees for the carry bag. Y equal to mx plus c बोलते हैं हम इसे. On your birthday, you hired a tattoo artist. The negotiation happened with your dad in such a manner that he said, for every tattoo I will do on a child, I will take 50 rupees. Plus, please pay me 300 rupees for coming from my home to your home. आने जाने का 300 रुपए. 30 rupees, 50 rupees per tattoo, T number of children, plus 300 rupees. ये भी यही equation है. इनका graphs बड़ा interesting होता है. That we will see in our classes when we do graphs. Is this clear? Yes. That's a straight line equation that we will see. And once you understand y equal to mx plus c, you will answer many things of physics, many things of chemistry, many things of mathematics, many things of economics also. That's called the standard slope equation of the slope intercept format of equation of a line. That's why I say from 9th onwards, it gets very busy. Children, please understand, between two classes, my only concern is what I'm getting from your batch, that you're learning things which are tough. Maybe in your schools you have gone ahead a lot. We study physics every Wednesday. I have still not encountered that any child has come next Wednesday and told me, sir, I went through Lakshmi Singh also, I went through text, or my school ma'am or sir, they had taught. It seems, sir, you did not teach one topic, this which I might have missed out. Sir, I did not understand these 3 things. Sir, in holiday they gave us this homework in which this question was there, I am not able to do. ऐसा नहीं आ रहा है. Which tells me one thing which is a concern for me. You can't understand everything. If you are only attending the class, you should come to the class prepared. This is weird that I'm finding right now. Right now we have gone quite ahead in our things. Neither have we seen this in mathematics. Neither. But if you see at grade 8, as I was saying, 1 class junior to you, the number of questioning is very high, and not nonsense questioning. They will say, we did this problem, this is what we have not understood. This is your golden chance to understand. पूरा numbers equations का problem हो गया. कभी-कभी एक आध 2 questions this girl has brought. Otherwise, we have not seen questioning. If you attend the class and none of you are watching video, I'm not saying you watch my video, but my question is that if you are not watching my video, you are not watching any other video or textbook also. How many children are we in class? Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 absent today, 7, 8, and out there how many? 4, 12 children, 13. 13 children. If a 1 hour video goes on YouTube, what should be the viewing hours of that? Minimum 13 hours. Each of you, if you have seen the video for 1 hour, forget 13 hours. I don't even have a 13 view. I keep a track of that, which shows that many of you have not seen a video also. Maybe not an issue. So sir is trying to increase his viewership. Nothing like that. In none of my video I say like, subscribe also. I never say. Never. It's just put up on YouTube because I don't have space to host it. But you all are not going through. You all are not going through that. I can say upfront, you all are not preparing your notes. Even the elements and compounds and all these things that we are studying, this is your golden time. Grade 9 concepts are important. So when you come to class next day, you should be ready. Sir, last class you thought that I have got 2 doubts. Even the grade 10 batch which will come after you, you'll see 1 or 2 girls who come early or boys and they straight away entrance say, 2 doubt hai sir. आपका लेकिन वो doubt except इसका मैं नहीं देखता हूँ किसी से भी आने का. So make it clear. And if you are only attending the class and closing the book and you tell parents, no sir did not give a worksheet, you all are not kiddos now. Worksheets are given at grade 8 level. And tell me one thing, I have 17, 18 children per batch. Is it possible for me to check 17, 18 worksheets? If you are expecting that, then straight away I'm folding my hands. I'm not a school. I coach people. I can give you gyan. You're supposed to read and come. There's an entire plethora of textbook you have got, your notes book. आप नहीं बना रहे हो, तो वही मुझे डर लगता है. चलिए next. Our second equation of motion is given by S is equal to ut plus half av square. Okay. Now the first equation of motion we did was v equal to u plus at. If you look at the first equation, you will see displacement is missing in this equation. If you look at the second equation, you will see final velocity is missing. हर एक में एक मिसिंग रहेगा. यहाँ फाइनल वेलोसिटी मिस हो रहा है. दिस इज नॉट समथिंग ग्रेट दैट यू आर लर्निंग. In your grade 6, 7, you have always studied what distance equal to speed into time. All those are valid only when acceleration is constant or there is no acceleration. Not acceleration is constant, but there is no acceleration. यहाँ acceleration को 0 कर दो. This is your grade 6 equation. Distance equal to speed into time. That is what we used to study. In grade 6 and 7, the problems used to do. Speed, distance equal to speed into time. This is distance. This is speed. This is time. Because in grade 6, there was no acceleration. This part is 0. Okay? Shall we? Come. So, we say displacement equals to average velocity multiplied by time. Average velocity multiplied by time. Okay? If acceleration is constant, now why we didn't give you this formula? Average velocity is given as v plus u by 2. This is valid only when acceleration is constant. Otherwise, this average velocity, you don't have a formula. Like in grade 11 and 12, you will find the velocity curve like this. They will take out 1 point here, 1 point here. Here you can't put this formula because here acceleration is not constant. If acceleration is constant, the graph would have come like this. Got it? ये सब आपको ख्याल रखना पड़ेगा. So average velocity multiplied by what beta? Time. Average velocity multiplied by time. This is displacement. Have you understood this? Right? From here, what we will do, look at V and plug. V cannot be there in your equation. The equation does not have V. So V has to be thrown out. So how do you throw out V? You substitute the first equation. So sometimes people will say, deduce the second equation of motion, and before deducing, deduce the first equation of motion also. They don't allow you to straight away use that. उसको पहले करो, फिर ये करो. Right? So instead of V, what do I write now? U plus AT plus u, right, divided by 2, right, into t. Fine.
Can you just swap the positions, like you just away B and bring A? You can just send away B and bring A.
You can straight away send away v and bring a. How will you do it? How do you swap the position? No, what are you trying to say? I'm not able to get it. Bolo kaise?
Because we have to throw out B and we have to
You have to throw out v from this equation. You are trying to derive this equation. How did this come? This equation does not have a v. I started with this expression. In this expression, v is there. So v को बाहर करना पड़ेगा ना. V is not there in the final one, no doubt about that. But I started with this. This has got a v. I have to throw this v out. Okay. So what does this give you? Now this 2 is over v plus u. V is this portion. Or for better understanding, let me write it like this. Then it will become clear for you. Now since you have seen it, I'm not changing anything. I'll write it as v plus u divided by 2 into t. Right? I'm writing it in this manner because I want to show you what I am changing. So t remains t, 2 remains 2, plus u remains plus u. Right? And the change is do you understand now? V has been replaced as u plus at. Right? Okay. So it gives me u plus at plus u divided by 2 into t. Perfect? So it gives me 2u plus at square, right, divided by 2. 2ut, sorry. One minute. So this becomes u 2u plus at, right? And this whole thing is multiplied by a t and it is divided by 2. Is that fine? Shall I bring it on this side now? I have s. So look, I'll now just separate the term. T multiplies with 2u, it becomes 2ut plus at square divided by 2. The job is done. S is equal to 2ut by 2 plus at square by 2. 2 and 2 cancel each other. So S becomes equals to half at square. This is your second equation of motion. Right? Now here also we have many interesting observations. See, if look at this equation first. Suppose you are braking a car. What should be your final velocity? Less than initial velocity, right? I am going at 40 km/h. I started braking my car. After some blah blah seconds, the speed will be less. If you brake, A is negative. If A is negative, AT is also negative. AT portion will be deducted from U. So your V is always less than U. ये छोटी चीजें आपको स्कूल नहीं बताएगा. इसको आप फील करो. Did you understand what I said? Why is the final velocity less? Because A is negative. If A is negative, AT is negative. AT negative means this whole thing is deducted from U. So U was 40. You are deducting something from 40. I will land up in less than 40 only. Right? Achha. Next question. If I start pressing the brakes, will I cover more displacement or less displacement? Less displacement. I am going at 40 km/h. Means in every hour I am covering 40 kilometers. I suddenly applied brakes. That means acceleration is negative. So now in 1 hour I can never cover 40 kilometers. Logic wise, let's see in this equation. You applied brakes. A becomes negative. This whole quantity becomes negative. You started with distance equal to speed into time, but from that you are reducing something. So displacement falls. Girega displacement. Obviously. Initially, my speed was 40 kilometer an hour. Now my speed is 20 kilometer an hour. That means my speed has fallen. Now in 1 hour, I'll be covering only 20 kilometers. Shall we see the third equation? Okay. Our third equation is V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Very stylish. Who is missing here? Time is missing here.
Equals to D square minus C square.
Oh, Rishika Sharma, daughter of Khushbu Sharma, is same as Rishika Sharma, right? ठीक है ना? 2AS equal to करने से बात तो एक ही है ना? देखा ये this is the effect of Tota Gyan. She's correct. No, nothing wrong. But you only realize don't touch hot objects. You will burn your hand. Don't touch hot objects. एक दिन पकड़ के देखो ना. Then you need not memorize every day. You know it is hot. Shall we do this? This comes from S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Agreed? Now go to your first equation. V is equal to AT. That means V minus U upon A should be equal to T. V minus U upon A should be equal. Just punch for every T you punch that. U. V minus U by what? A plus half A. V minus U by A whole square. Perfect. Let's do. So this becomes what? VU minus U square by A plus, here there is a little bit of stylish thing, A by 2 V minus U whole square divided by A square. Right? A cancels square. So further what do we get? VU minus U square upon A, and on this side what do we have? We have V minus U whole square by 2A. 2 and 4, what is the LCM? 4. 4 and 8, what is the LCM? 8. So between A and 2A, what will be the LCM? 2A. 2A. So our LCM becomes how much now? 2A. Perfect. 2A divided by A is how much? 2. 2 multiplied with this numerator, it makes it 2VU minus 2U square. And open this up. V square minus 2VU plus U square. Right? And this is S. So you can multiply this straight away. 2AS. एक तो आ गया. And let's see what is stored here. This one cancels this one. Agreed? V square is retained as V square. Minus 2U square and plus U square is minus U square. Which gives me V square is equal to, okay. No, sir. Why are you doing like this? We don't understand. So it's U square plus 2AS is equal to V square. Change your hands. V square equal to U square plus 2AS. First starts with V equal to U plus AT. Then abolish V. Then get S equal to UT plus half AT square. Then abolish T. Just you have to be a little bit careful out here. 2A and A, the LCM is always 2A. Yeah. Ahan, you are not writing anything. Have you written and did you show me your copy? Did you write the derivations? I don't think so. Did you do the derivations with me? Just a yes or a no. That's all.
This is what you wrote on the board, sir.
No, the 3 equations that I derived. Did you derive along with me? V equal to U plus AT, how I got, S equal to, just a yes or a no, that's all. I will not scold you or anything.
No, sir, usually after the class, the slides are copied now.
That will not help, na? Sometimes. Fine. So we'll close today here. In our next class, we will be taking up now problems associated with Subat equations. So next one full class we will dedicate to problems. After that, we will move to graphs. Graphs are very important. The entire entrance is all based on graphs. You have to look at graph and you have to answer. जिसने ग्राफ समझ लिया वो सब समझ गया.
What the entire equation by finding out displacement. So we can also use find it to acceleration.
And the question is, this is obtained. You have to get this proof, deduce this equation. In order to deduce this equation, you've got something called S. Before the start of three equations, you know only one value. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time. Do you know a formula for displacement before the start of the three equations? No. Do you know a formula for time? No. You just know one equation, v equal to u plus at. That too, you know it as a equal to v minus u by t. From there, you established v. From there, you established s. And now, from those two equations, you established what is final velocity, v square. ऐसे होता है, ठीक है?